medical system, all this is being changed here. You see, that restructuring should be done, as well as you have to teach them. This is some kind of teaching, not doctoring. That is not necessary here. There is no therapy here. You can call such people who are dealing with this health can be called a teacher. A doctor always deals with so many other chemical intervention as well as surgical interventions for which you need a license or degree. Here it is not necessary. Gandhiji also was propagating the same kind of philosophy. Everyone should become the doctor of everyone. Each and every should be their own doctor. That was his teaching. It's a very noble philosophy with regards to health. Gandhiji spent more time on health, the nature, studying nature cure, rather than the time he spent for freedom struggle. But it was not properly understood by his fellow beings. But a few nature curists and a few Gandhians are following this. They are propagating in a non-professional way. Even though it is a silent revolution, it has continued. I told you earlier that the Western allopathic doctors invented this orthopathy. It was in Germany, England, America, and actually this system of cure was propagated by patients, not with multi-storied medical college or very big encyclopedias, but it was propagated all through these years. It started from 1852 when Edward Jennings published his philosophy of cure in United States. Ever since that time, this is being propagated through classic works in orthopathy. These were all invented by allopathic doctors. But this is not coming in the syllabi of modern medical science MBBS or MD. You see, their syllabi is dictated by whom? The medical industry. This is the problem. The universities are never honest in this. I was working in the university for 28 years. Before that, I was working in a very huge laboratory in India that is called the Defense Research R&D. 1 year I have worked in a medical college also. So I was keenly watching. I was serving in the academic council, board of studies, all this. I can very clearly say that the medical syllabus is dictated by medical industry. You see, we had this credit semester system and all this, in which if the medical people are honest, the MBBS people can have a credit for 6 months in naturopathy, Ayurveda, homeopathy. You see, that is, and the syllabus also is not integrated. Why should you call allopathy, Ayurveda, homeopathy? Why these padis? Our body are similar everywhere. Cure also is same. Disease also is. Our experience is the same. Then why should you have different systems of medicine? These are all terms invented by medical industry. Ayurveda also is polluted. Even though I talk to you the basic principles of Ayurveda, it is the same basic principle in allopathy also. Allopathy people called it tetrahumor theory, Chadurdosha Siddhant, and Ayurveda call it trihumor theory, Tridosha Siddhant. All the same. There is no contradiction between Ayurveda, basic concepts of Ayurveda and allopathy. The problem is with people who are practicing. In allopathy, what they preach, what they practice is not the theory. This contradiction, nobody is doing research on this. Some very extensive researchers one day will prove all these things. They will come to reality, I believe, because in United States, my information is that this raw food therapy is very prominent even in cancer. Most of the research works done in Western countries will be accepted in the mainstream medical industry. They will accept only that. For example, John Hopkins Institute of Health, John Hopkins University, they are doing a lot of research on this cure of cancer through this natural diet also. Many research findings are giving implications that what all we have done here also is true. Very simple. Suppose you are having some disease, what is to be done? I am asking you a very simple question. What should be done? If you are ill, you should not do anything. Do nothing. That is the Buddhist philosophy. You see, doing something, it is not karma, it is karma dosha. Do nothing in the case of illness, that means stop the cause of the illness also. Don't do that activity which led you to this illness. Understood? So that is the meaning. Then it will be alright. Doing something is always hazardous to your health. It will be problematic. So now you can ask me a few questions. What all you heard may be a new thing. Some people may not be able to accept this also. From our experience, it is found that 95% of the people will agree to this because this is talked in the using scientific terminology. They will agree to this, but practicing is possible only for about 5%. This kind of problem is everywhere. Any art, any literature, any science, is the higher form is understood by only 5%. In psychology, there is a normal probability curve. That is the highest invention by psychologists. Majority of the people are in the average. In intelligence as well as so many other aptitudes, they are like that. So, this cannot be easily propagated by mainstream medicine. Even mainstream medicine has not understood this. That problem is there. Now you can ask me a few questions. Ayurveda, actually, there was no medicine in Ayurveda. It was Swasthavritam. It's a lifestyle. That was the philosophy. That was for the Sattvic people who are after Brahmajnanam. You understand? Enlightenment, those who are trying. For them, it was Sattvic life. For this Swasthavritam doesn't have any medicine. So, it was a way of life only. That was for the Sattvic people. For the Rajasic people who were the kings and kingsmen, they are very aggressive. They cannot meditate for even for a 1 minute. They cannot. They are always aggressive. So such people, this eliminatory and excretory therapies were invented. There is a social evolution for Ayurveda. It is highly scientific. The hermits in the forest invented all these things. So it was Shodhana Chikitsa, eliminatory and excretory therapies like Panchakarma, Vasti, Vamanam, Nasyam, all this. It was for Rajasic people. For Tamasic people who were always speaking ill of others, thinking dirty things and eating all dirty things, these decayed things. For such people, suppressive drugs were invented. Arishtam, Asavam, these were not in original Ayurveda. All these suppressive drugs were invented for these tamasic people. A symptom suppression. That is being appreciated by the industrially oriented medical sciences. They are more interested in producing drugs. They are not interested in health. You can imagine. The Ayurveda is also terribly polluted by some power like that, Muslim power like that. So many things are coming.
Nutrients എല്ലാം എത്തി എന്നുള്ളത് നമ്മൾ ഉറപ്പുവരുത്തണ്ടേ? എല്ലാ ന്യൂട്രിയൻസും നമുക്ക് കിട്ടുന്നുണ്ടെന്നുള്ളത് ഉറപ്പുവരുത്തേണ്ടത്. ഇപ്പോൾ എല്ലാ സാധനവും ഇപ്പോൾ നമ്മൾ ക്യാരറ്റ് കഴിക്കുകയാണെങ്കിൽ അതിൽ ഇത്ര തരം എല്ലാ ന്യൂട്രിയൻസും അതിൽ ഉണ്ടാവും എന്നുള്ളത് നമുക്ക് ഉറപ്പില്ല.
We are questioning that estimate. You see, you are asking a question based on this calorie estimate, nutrient estimate. We cannot estimate this. These are all wrong informations given by home science graduates as well as medical graduates. It is wrong. We cannot accept this. So what all the changes taking place, what all the things are absurd, this is not known to science. This is only a wrong impression given to general public that they know it. The protein, fat, what all is contained in that food material as well as what all is absorbed by the body. These are all bogus science. The psychonutritional principles disagree with these calorie estimates. Germ theory, drug theory. Otherwise you cannot follow this. But don't be very extremist regarding this. There are many beautiful things found, investigated in medical science. We are not against it. Medical science is a very beautiful science. But this also should be integrated, otherwise it will be incomplete. That is the problem. Why? What is the problem with? In medicine as well as in psychology, the nutritive aspect is neglected. You see, Freud said, you are what you eat. And his disciple, Carl Gustav Jung, is found to be one of the greatest men lived in the last century, 20th century. He said the nutritional science will rewrite psychiatry. What does it mean? He had all these ideas in his mind. He had no time to investigate all these things.
We have to stick on to the seasonal fruits and vegetables that we get from the nature at the time.
You see, seasonal, there are certain fruits which are available in all seasons. Coconut, plantain, groundnut, dates, these are all available in all the seasons. All seasons, available in all seasons, contain almost all the nutrients. You see, seasonal, several varieties of nutrients are there. But this you can only say from your experience. So what fruit I should eat, what should be my food? If anybody is asking, I may say, what your tongue says, what your taste says, that will be the better food for you. If somebody is suffering from some kidney problem, is it is good for them this certain vegetables? Many people ask this kind of question. If they like that vegetable, that will definitely cure his kidney problem. So this is a specific theory. The specific hunger theory is there. Specific taste theory is there. The fruit which you like the most will be suitable for your body. It may not be suitable for him. So several such techniques we have to. The therapy I did not discuss here. That will be in another session we will be discussing this. Therapy we have to know so many things. The technique of fasting, the technique of raw food, technique of mixing raw food and cooked food partially. So several techniques are there, and as well as the technique of yoga. Without yoga, this bodily you see many ingredients are there. The humors are to be balanced. Yoga is very essential for that. Almost all the ancient medical systems are speaking about humor theory. Tridosha, Chaturdosha, all this. That is possible with yoga also. The correction being taken place by this yoga can never be brought in by any medicine in this world. So you have to experience all these things. You have to apply this to non-patients. You have to practice this, then only you will understand. It is so simple. To understand this, only 45 minutes are required, but to practice a minimum of 45 days and a 45 years of long life afterwards, 45 or 90 or 100, it is possible. So a correct ecosystem decides our lifespan. Some people ask, even if you do all these things, you will die. Then what is this? Why should you do this? You can, if you want to die early, you need not follow this. That is the answer. It is your choice whether to take drugs and die early. That is your choice. Nobody can prevent you from this. We will be behind that, I think. You will have to face a lot of problems when you are doing this, because this is against the medical industry. They think it is actually not. My opinion is this also can be amalgamated along with the mainstream medical syllabus. Then we can stop these kinds of activities. This is never propagated to the general public. I often doubt whether the media is functioning like a mafia with regards to health. They are doing so many other things, good things. But here, in the case of health, they are telling all the lies. Many channels are owned by these medical professionals, multinational pharmaceutical criminals. They will never propagate this kind of natural things. You see, they are always after these super specialty hospitals. You see, the lifespan of doctors all over the world, Kerala also, is somewhere near 50 years, in which they are also very terribly worried nowadays. The Kerala population are having a lifespan of 74 years, so including